I'm Dr. Lindsay Doe, clinical sexologist and host of this sex-curious show, Sexplanations. Here's the situation. It's now possible to use your smartphone or other devices to create videos that look just like someone doing and or saying things that they haven't actually done or said. They're called deepfakes. You know, the digital greeting cards that have the heads of your friends with marionette mouths singing and dancing on cartoon bodies? Deepfakes are the totally proportionate, lifelike version. So realistic that it's really difficult to tell that what you're actually seeing isn't Tom Cruise telling a story. It's not really Tom Cruise, it's a deepfake. In Kendrick Lamar's music video for The Heart Part 5, similar deepfake technology is used to morph Kendrick into other famous men. O.J. Simpson, Kanye West, Will Smith. These deepfakes are meant to illustrate the meaning of perspective, like the lyric, "As I get a little older, I realize life is perspective and my perspective may differ from yours." It's creative and visually pleasing, and it's also faster and cheaper than contracting the actual humans to participate, including Nipsey Hussle, who's dead. So you can probably imagine some of the sexual possibilities for deepfakes. Rule 34, if it exists, there's porn of it. Having sex with a partner who has died or gone away. An ex, an asexual lover, sex with a crush, sex with a fantasy person, a real person you fantasize about. It used to be that you'd need a lot of images to generate a deepfake video, which is why they're mostly of celebrities and other public figures. But now you can get away with fewer photos of anyone, download a free trial of the software, add porn to transpose these photos onto, and then have a believable video in less than a minute, which people are doing a lot. It's estimated that there are over 1 million deepfake porn videos online. Almost 100% of women, rarely with permission. This is where I get stumped by the topic. One part of me grieves that people are being collaged with this head, this body, this voice into performing for someone in ways they likely would not. It perpetuates rape culture. Listen, deepfake porn that's non-consensual objectifies women's bodies, disregards their rights and safety, and normalizes media-based sexual abuse. You get it, it's unfair and it hurts people, which I'm going to get more into, but first, here's where I feel conflicted. I think about fan fiction, how it's this way for people to take characters and write personal narratives for them. There's a lot of fan fiction. It creates community and it's entertaining. Isn't deepfake porn just the visual version? It enables people like me who prefer the movie over the book to enjoy the same fantasy world as those who read. It increases accessibility. It personalizes the pornography, so it's actually less about someone's features. Isn't there a sense of connection with actors and internet personalities? Isn't that a step in a sex-positive direction? Less men holding the gaze and women are objects, and more, let's depict having sex with someone I like. Not everyone has access to sex, and not everyone is aroused by strangers. Isn't deepfake porn an effort to imagine things more complexly? Erotica for demisexuals who want and need an emotional part of a relationship to get off. Ooh, this is complex. Like many of the other controversies in human sexuality, contraception, STIs, pedophilia, abortion, sexual orientation, gender transition, sex education, circumcision, pornography in general, one person's pursuit of happiness directly obstructs another person's pursuit of happiness. We can be thoroughly titillated by seeing the sexual version of our dream human, our pursuit of happiness, but it sexually victimizes them. In the case of deepfake porn, there are 3 victims. There's the person whose face is digitally grafted onto someone else's body to look as if they're performing a sex act. The professional who is digitally decapitated so that their body can host someone else's face without credit or pay. And the audience, made accomplices in media-based sexual abuse. Here's a recent example. Maya Higa, a Twitch streamer who mainly talks about wildlife conservation, music, and falconry, was deepfaked. Non-sexual content made sexual without her consent. In an interview with New Lines magazine, Maya said, "Being deepfaked makes me feel disgusting, vulnerable, nauseous, and violated. and continued that it reminds her of when she was physically raped. Journalist Rana Ayyub was deepfaked and subsequently doxxed to discredit and terrorize her, and the influx of harassment led to her being hospitalized. In an interview for Kotaku, Sweet Anita, another deepfaked Twitch streamer, described it as being forced and sold into sex work by someone I don't know. Jennifer Savin shares on the Doing It podcast that people who have been deepfaked don't want to leave their homes. They quit their jobs and they try to change their appearance so that they are no longer the face of the porn that they can't control. The adult performers state that they don't want to be made into tools for the abuse of other women. The idea is skin-crawlingly gross, Ella Darling told Wired. So for the victims, it's like rape and slavery. They feel objectified and violated, which might be difficult to imagine. It's just a picture. Take it as a compliment. I understand not wanting to imagine being a victim of rape and/or slavery, digitally or otherwise, and justifying my behavior to continue watching deepfake porn. But I want to do better. I want us to do better. It's simple. We believe women's experiences that deepfake porn is detrimental to them, and we choose not to hurt them. Oh, this is intense. Even if it's a work of art, freedom of expression, wish fulfillment, satire, entertainment, or quote, the price you pay for being famous, even if it's going to exist anyway. What do we do? For one thing, know that you can have fun with technology consensually. I'm not anti-deepfake. I'm anti-abuse. Deepfakes can have really wonderful sexual and non-sexual applications when they're created and shared ethically. Another thing we can do is utilize deepfake detection technology. This is basically artificial intelligence used to identify and stop deepfake artificial intelligence. Transformers, the Autobots versus Decepticons. Autobots. Noting that AI will get smarter on both sides, so it's not a secure system. If you're an actor or public persona, make sure that you properly scope any consent to use your likeness. It doesn't mean that deepfaking won't happen, but it does help to stop it if it does. One of the best things we can do is to talk about deepfakes a lot, making sure that people around us know what they are and how abusive that they can be to the people in front of the camera. You can use the word rapey, sexually aggressive, or inappropriate in a way that causes fear or unease. At least for the non-consensual deepfakes, talk about not watching or sharing them, searching for and creating them. In this way, it's like child porn. Yes, it's there, but you do not have to participate. It adds to the demand, which influences the supply. If you happen upon a deepfake, porn or otherwise, another thing you can do is to report it to the police, to Cyber Civil Rights Initiative. They have a 24-hour hotline at 1-844-878-2274. Deepfakes are regulated in the following places: Facebook, Reddit, Pornhub, Google Collaboratory, TikTok, Instagram, Virginia, California, Texas, the UK, and China, which in most cases puts the onus on the victim to press charges, makes it their responsibility, so help them. 5 years ago, the following was posted on Reddit. Deepfakes are just a natural progression of technology. In 20 years, I'll be able to have virtual reality sex with your wife or your teenage daughter or you or whatever, and you won't be able to do a damn thing about it. This is true. People still rape and enslave others. And with image-based or media-based abuse, the legal precedent, free use law, Section 107 of the 1976 copyright law, doesn't give much hope for protection. But we are not powerless. We can still take care of each other. Atriarch on Twitch is a popular user who was publicly called out for accessing non-consensual deepfake porn. He worked with victims and law firms to remove a bunch of deepfakes from the internet, including paying for the legal fees. He also addressed those who thought he didn't owe anyone an apology or amends for accessing deepfakes. I do not want your support. I do not stand with you. And then signed off of the internet, his workplace, and community. This will be the last time you hear from me for a while. I'd rather you see my actions. I will try my absolute hardest to combat the damage I caused. Damn. I'm not expecting everyone to take this level of action, but you can engage in other efforts. You can buy ethical porn and stay curious. Mark my words, it will be possible to deepfake a person's whole body, naked, genitals, face with their unique expressions, even make changes like a new haircut or clean fingernails. And with haptics technology, you'll be able to feel their touch, hands on you, clit, penis, anus, mouth, whatever you're into, as if it's actually happening. And check this out, because of fertility technology, people will be able to get impregnated from deepfake sex. If I've left anything out about deepfake porn or technology, deepfakes in general, Please let me know in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's learn from each other. I want to stay curious too. Thank you to everyone at patreon.com/sexplanations for making this episode possible. It's been really fun to make Sexplanations as freely as I choose on topics that are really important to me because of your support. If you would like to join them in supporting accessible sex education, please go to patreon.com/sexplanations and join. Sex with a crush. Sex with a fantasy person. The real person that you fantasize about. That's Irish. Download a free trial of the software. Whee! You don't want to be deepfaked either, do you? Your head would look real good on a pit bull body, though.